Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And wee, where did Starlight go? Woo, there she went. But anyway, I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you could find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give my videos a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight by leaving Starlight a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos with your family, your friends. A mole? I never even thought of that. They are so adorable. They are so cute. A mole. And I'm going to pick bees after that. Plus, not only you could share my videos with a mole, they are so adorable. Did I already say that? Yes, they are so adorable. They are so cute. Those you can catch. And and also you could find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Plus, for those of you who would love to send some love to Starlight, you can on my Cash App, and I will have that information available for you right here. Ping! There it is. There's my Cash App information there. And if you're not sure how that works, you can download that app, and with your card, your debit card or a credit card, you could send some love to the Cash App, and it will send it my way on my Cash App card. So anyway, thank you for those of you who already done that. Yes, you, thank you, and you. Yes, so thank you both. And of course, the one, it was a long while back, you know, when where I was located before. And also a big, huge thank you to all of you have been, yes, all of you. Yeah, now it's you guys and girls. Don't want to leave the girls or the guys out of this, because I really love all of you. Thank you for watching my videos, giving me a thumbs up, subscribing to my YouTube channel, or leaving a message down below, or even sharing my videos. Thank you. All right. You have 24 hours in a day, but what are you doing with it? What are you doing with that time? It's so important. When I wake up, the time that I wake up in the morning, Starlight is, I am working. I'm working on myself. I am doing things that the universe wants me to do. It's so important that you really think twice, because time is running out. You know, there's people, they think they have all the time in the world to do this and do that. And I'll tell you what, there's going to be people, if you're working on a future plans, or working on your heart's desires, you got goals that you're working on, there's going to be people that are going to distract you. So it's so important that that you stay so focused, put those horse blinds on those things, and a lot of you could be out there working. What are you doing, and how many hours do you work? Number one, there's a lot of people, they always say, I'm too busy to do this and I'm too busy to do that, but what are you busy doing? And what are you doing from the time that you wake up? Some of you are like, Starlight, I'm getting in that shower, I'm getting my cup of coffee, I'm getting the kids ready for for work, right? No, you're getting the kids ready for school. You could be possibly heading out right along with them. So everybody's got their own schedule, and some of you might go later on, or, maybe you work at night. So what are you doing with the time that God gave you right now? And it is so important. Even though you might think that I don't work, I do. I tell people this is a 24/7 job that I serving God. And I am here to be of service to God, the universe. And it was funny, the other day I was with a group of people, and there was a man that I was going to help out, and he was waiting for me patiently. And there's other people that wanted Starlight. They all, these people, they got connected with me before, and they can't wait to hear Starlight say something. But I was quiet as a mouse. Quiet? Starlight, you were quiet like a little mouse? Yes. I was quiet like a little mouse. And a lot of people wanted my attention. But I wanted it. You know what? I knew I had to go out because God puts it on my heart and mind to the people that I need to reach out to and help them on this journey. And if, you know what? I said it's a full-time job. And another man that was at the table, it's like, wow, I wonder, like what it was like for the disciples, when they were, with Jesus, what was it like for them? And that's what I am doing. I am being of service to help other people out whenever God calls me to do so. When my intuition is like that person right there, that person, right? Yeah, that person. And Starlight is something. I obey God. God's like, that person, okay, I'm going over there. I'm going to help this person out. Say something. And I pray about this. I pray, God, please use me today. Use my voice. Use my words, and but if I feel that the person is wasting my time, guess what? I ain't got time for that shit. So phew, there goes Starlight, and so you gotta be that sharp. You gotta be that real in your life. There's gonna be people out there gonna try to pull you off of the path that God has you on, and that happened yesterday. I got pulled off. I'm like, Starlight, but you know what? I learned, hey, let it go, Starlight. There's nothing, it's already done with. There's nothing you can do about it. Tomorrow, don't let it happen. Okay. So this morning when I woke up, I'm like, razor focus. I got stuff to do. I got things that I'm working on, and I don't care what people think. I don't answer to people. I answer to God. So I am doing exactly what God wants me to do. But I'm not going to have people, waste my time. And so, like, yesterday I got distracted because somebody was trying to get me to go somewhere. And I'm like, oh, no, I gotta do this. But somehow or another, I got pulled, And so that was a lesson. So don't beat yourself up. You're going to get people that are going to try to, get you out to the bar scene at nighttime, get you back to doing things that you gave up on, They say if somebody's going to hell, which there's no such thing as hell anyway, is that they always want to bring somebody with them. So remember that, when people, what are they doing with their life? That's what you got to look at. Are they working on their future dreams? Are they working on their future goals? Are they working on their future plans or any of that? I have to laugh. So what are they doing with their life? Are they wasting it away? Or are they actually doing something with it? And that's why it's so important to ask yourself. And if you work, how many hours do you work? Are you working too much? Because a lot of you are going to say, but Starlight, I need to get those extra hours because of blah, 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 blah. That you've been programmed to believe that. Society taught you that. You've been programmed to believe that's the only way it's going to work. God would love for you to trust that God will take care of you. I was telling somebody today that, there's people out here that I was having my faith and trust in God, and they were supposed to be Christians, and they wanted me to just go get help from the government. And you got to watch out, because there's people out there that are going to trip you up. They're going to try to send you somewhere else that you don't belong. They're going to try to change the way you think, how you see things. It's all over the place. Even the things that you look at, and that's why, like the three monkeys, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. You got to be careful, because what are your eyes looking at? What kind of, things are you watching on YouTube or TikTok? If it's all positive and motivational, and inspiring, hey, but you still, you got to There's things that God wants us to work on, that will help us out every day and help us to create that beautiful future plan that you have for later on. But you got to watch out. Not everybody wants you to make it where you're going. So be careful what you're hearing. What are you listening to? What are you listening to? And that's why, when this lady yesterday or the day before was trying to get me to doubt that God could take care of all my needs when God has been doing this the whole time, you know what? I'm releasing all energy in my energy field that is no longer serving me, and I'm sending it back to its rightful owner. Get the blank out of here. I don't need that shit. Be careful who you're around, what kind of shit they're saying to you. If you're around people, that are negative and all that stuff and taking you away from what you're working on, you gotta be strong. Today I was actually in a park and I was heading out, and this man saw me in my vehicle, comes right to me. I'm in my car. I'm ready to head out. He wants to give me a pamphlet. I let him know, hey, I don't need that. I am saved. And he's like, well, that's not, I told him that I have to go. I have to leave right now. There's people that will force themselves on you. Like when I say, no, I'm not interested, I got to leave right now, that should have been the end, but it wasn't. So you got to watch out. There's going to be people out there that are persistent. They're persistent in getting your attention. And you got to watch out. There's people that see your light, or, they could see your light and they want to take it from you. And that when people see your light, you're going to have all kinds of people coming to you. And that's what's been going on for days right now. I mean, like even when I woke up this morning to go to McDonald's, boom. I mean, I no longer got out of my vehicle, and there was a man that I seen before that he was do, and I'm like, and it was the energy. It's not so much what he was saying. There's people out there, all they want to do is take from you. They want to take from you your time, your energy. So you got to protect yourself at all costs, because when they see the light, and I'll tell you, that has been going on, because every day, I've been around people, then I clear that energy out, the negative energy, and then I go back out there again, and then I got to clear it again. So you got to really be mindful. You got 24 hours like I have 24 hours, but what are you doing in your 24 hours? And that, like, are you watching movies, watching TikTok? What are you watching? Is it helping you to grow? Or is it distracting you? Oh, you hang out with your friends. What are you and your friends doing? There's people right now, they would love to have me visit with them. But you know what it would be like? It would be like the local newspaper gossip center. I'm good. And then they would want me to stay there all day. If I can't stay there all day long and visit with people like that. I got stuff I got to do. And it's easy to fall in those traps. I've gone through this my whole life with different family members, people, that I thought were my friends, where it was wasting my time. I would go and spend time with people, but what were we doing? We were getting high and talking all about all kinds of crazy shit. There goes like 3 or 4 to 5 hours wasted by just sitting around talking. About what? All kinds of stuff, I'll tell you. So time is ticking, and people do these days. Today was an interesting day. Everybody was learning patience. They were learning patience. They had to sit and wait. Sit and wait without complaining. That was a tough one. People wanted to say, I actually spoke up and I said something, and it just, nobody was going to say anything, at least where I was, So you got to really think of, where are you right now? There's people, they want to do something. They want to start a business. And if you want to start a business, you could be working a job and you want to start something to kind of get, kind of stepping stones to get away from one thing to start something else. Well, I can't tell you what, you got to really be laser focused. That's what I've been. I'll tell you what, for a good week, I've been, actually more than a week, like 2 weeks right now, I have been so focused. And that is why you got to put your walls up sometimes with people that are trying to, you know, they don't care what you're doing. Are they doing anything with their life? You know, they might just walk around and do nothing all day long. And they just want to take your energy and distract you and, you know, pull you away. Like this morning when I got up to go to McDonald's, I don't eat the food. I have my own coffee that I have in my car. And, you know, bam, there was a guy right there when I get out of my car. And I'm like, and I acted like I didn't see him by the tree. And I grabbed my stuff because I knew if I gave him too much eye contact, that would have been it. If I was friendly and being my outgoing self, that would have been it. He would have been coming, and I'm like, no, this is not happening today. Blank, no, absolutely not. I got my stuff that I need to work on. I'm doing my stuff. I'm not, there's times that I can do that. There's other times I can't. There's times that I have too many things in one day to work on, and I can't have those distractions come into my life because I got stuff that I'm working on. And you got to be wise. You got to be smart. It could be your friend. You could, you know, you think they're your friend, but where are they taking you? What are you doing? If you're going out and taking a nature hike, hey, go out and have fun. If you're going out to do sports, yeah, go do that. But if it's taking you away, and what are you accomplishing? What are you gaining out of it? Is the point? What are you getting out of that time that they're taking you away from? You know, if you're just sitting there getting high, you're wasting your time. And that's why Starlight doesn't smoke pot anymore. I can't. I found a whole bag not too long ago. I gave it away to other people. I said, hey, I'm not responsible for whatever happens. I don't know nothing about that dope. I don't know where it came from, but it smelled good. But I wasn't smoking none of that stuff. You know, God will tempt us, and not tempt us, but the devil will tempt us, which is there really a devil? God will test us by letting us find something like that just to see what are we going to do with it. I didn't have to pay for that, you know. Wow, you know, I love doing it. I loved doing it when I used to do it. But no, it would be like throwing everything that I'm working so hard for to just flush it down the toilet. Forget it. You know, that's what I would have done if I did it. But no, I had that like for 2 days in my car. I prayed, and please help me find somebody where I can get rid of this stuff. You know, I wanted somebody else to enjoy it. You know, it smelled really good, but you know, that's how focused you got to be. Is like, no, get out of here. No, you're not. Are you wasted? Are you gonna help? What is it? Are you gonna just impress me with something I've already heard before, and just impress me with this stuff? You know, just to take my time away. You know, because there's a lot of that going on out here. You know, there's people that want to impress you with stuff that they don't, you know what, that's old news to me. You know what? I'm not where you are. I'm on a higher level here where I am. That stuff is way back there. That's old stuff, you know. I don't want to waste my time with people that have nothing to say. I said that, yes. You know, and that's what you got to be mindful. I love you so much. You have 24 hours, but what are you doing with it? And you could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos with your family, your friends, a cat, a dog. Also, you can check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. Why do you think this video is so short? I got stuff I got to keep on working on. I didn't eat dinner. You know, I got to go to the library. You know, I am busy in a good way. This is stuff because I'm creating my reality by working my ass off and being diligent and consistent every day, working on my future plans. So anyway, I love you so much. You know, there's no excuse. We can have all the excuses, but God knows where our time is going. And I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.